In the busy city of Lagos, there lived a young couple, Tunde and Bisi. They were happily married and had just welcomed their first child, a beautiful baby boy named Toby. While Bisi managed a fashion boutique, both of them were busy with work, but they made sure to spend time with their son, showering him with love and affection. As Toby grew, Bisi found it harder to balance work and taking care of him. She loved her son deeply, but the demands of boutique and household chores were overwhelming. Tunde noticed how tired she was and suggested, "Why don't we hire a nanny to help? That way, you can have some rest and Toby will be well taken care of." Bisi hesitated at first, but she agreed. After all, they needed the help. The couple started looking for a nanny, interviewing several candidates. Finally, they found Aisha, a 21-year-old girl from the northern part of Nigeria. Aisha seemed perfect. She was polite, had a kind smile, and claimed to have experience taking care of children. She even had a certificate from a nanny training program. "We have found the perfect person," Bisi said. Relieved, Tunde agreed and Aisha was hired immediately. Aisha moved into their home and quickly adapted to her new role. She took care of Toby, played with him, and even helped with the house chores. Bisi was happy to have found someone she could trust. She felt more relaxed knowing Toby was in good hands. A few weeks after Aisha started, Bisi noticed something strange. Toby, who was usually a happy and active baby, became quiet and withdrawn. He cried more often, especially when Aisha was around. When Bisi asked Aisha about it, she said, "Oh, madam, he's just sitting. Babies cries a lot during this time." Bisi nodded, accepting Aisha's explanation, but as the days went on, Toby's behaviors grew worse. He refused to eat, slept fitfully, and clung to Bisi whenever she was at home. Bisi instincts told her something was wrong, but she couldn't figure out what it was. One day, Bisi came home early from the boutique to find Aisha feeding Toby. The moment Toby saw Bisi, he reached out his tiny arms, tears streaming down his face. Bisi's heart ached. She took Toby from Aisha, noticing how tightly he held onto her. Aisha, has Toby been like this all day?" Bisi asked. Aisha struggled. "Yes, madam, he's just been fuzzy." Bisi wasn't convinced. She decided to stay home for a few days to observe. Bisi shared her concern with her husband Tunde, and together they decided to install a hidden camera in Toby's room. They needed to know what was happening when they were not around. The next day, Bisi left for work as usual, but her mind was on Toby. She felt anxious, wondering if her fears were real or if she was overreacting. When she returned home, she immediately went to her room and played the footage from the camera. What she saw made her blood run cold. On the screen, Aisha was in Toby's room holding a bottle, but instead of gently feeding him, she shoveled the bottle into his mouth roughly. Toby cried, trying to push it away, but Aisha slapped his hand. "Stop crying, you little brat," she hissed. "Your mother isn't here to save you now." Bisi watched in horror as she grabbed Toby by the arm, pulling him out of the crib. He screamed in pain and Aisha choked him. His face twisted in anger. "You spoiled little boy," she muttered. "I will teach you to be quiet." Bisi's hands trembled as she watched. Tears filled down her eyes. She covered her mouth to keep from screaming. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. The sweet and kind nanny they had hired was a monster. That evening, Tunde came home to find Bisi in tears, holding Toby tightly. She showed him the footage, and Tunde's face turned red with anger. "How dare she touch my son?" he shouted. "We need to get rid of her now." They called Aisha into the living room. When she entered, Tunde played the footage. Aisha's face went pale. She stumbled back, eyes wide with fear. How could you do this? Bisi cried, her voice shaking. We trusted you with our child, and this is how you repay us? Aisha fell to her knees, begging, please, madam, I am sorry. I didn't mean to. Sorry? Tunde roared. You think sorry is enough? You hurt our baby? He called the police immediately. Aisha was taken in handcuffs. Her pleas fell on deaf ears. The police assured Tunde and Bisi that she would be punished for her actions. With Aisha gone, the house felt safer, but the scares of her cruelty remained. Toby was still scared, crying whenever Bisi or Tunde left the room. Bisi took time off to stay with him, holding him close, comforting him. Slowly Toby began to smile again, his laughter returning. Toby and Bisi decided to never hire a nanny again. They took turns caring for Toby, making sure he never left alone. The experience has shaken them, but it has also made them bond stronger. They realized how precious their family was and how much they needed to protect it. Months passed and Toby grew stronger. His fear faded, replaced by his joyful spirit. Bisi and Tunde were relieved to see his happy again. They took him to the park, played with him, and showered him with love. One evening, as they sat together watching Toby play, Bisi said, we are so lucky to have found out the truth. I can't imagine what would have happened if we hadn't installed that camera. Tunde nodded, his arms around Bisi. We will always protect him. No one will ever harm him again. From that day on, Tunde and Bisi were more conscious, always keeping a close eye on those around them. They learned the hard way that not everyone who smiles is kind, and sometimes evil hides behind a friendly face. The story of the cruel caretaker became a lesson shared with their families and friends, a warning about trust and importance of protecting those we love, and so life continued in their home, filled with love, laughter, and promise of a brighter and safer future for their son. Hello guys, we've come to the end of this story. Please kindly give this video a thumbs up, like, comment, and share. Lastly, don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you won't be left out. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye. See you on our next video.